This video is sponsored by Casio Malaysia.
Hi everyone, I'm Miss Shirley and welcome back to my channel. Do you know the difference between original and fake Casio calculator? A genuine Casio calculator is obviously of high quality. The hard case slides on easily and the edge around the calculator is curved and smooth. Most importantly, the buttons are more sensitive when you press it and all the functions are working properly as expected. You don't want to risk getting the wrong answers for your exam, right? In this video, I'll be teaching you on how to solve questions using Casio calculator for additional mathematics. As for the materials, I've inserted the link in the description below. You may download it and print it out for your own self-practice if you want to. For those who still haven't gotten this calculator yet, don't fret. You may still learn from this video. At the end of this video, if you wish to buy this calculator, I will show you how to buy it from Shopee Casio official store. Alright, let's get started.
In this video, you will learn how to find the roots of the quadratic equation, change the quadratic functions into vertex form, which is fx equals to a bracket x minus p whole thing square plus q, find the maximum value or minimum value of the function, sketch the graph of the function, find the equation of the axis of symmetry, and sketch the graph of the absolute value function of fx. So all these are the important things that you need to know before you sit for your SPM exam. When you look at these three equations, they look different but they're actually the same exact equation. They have just been algebraically manipulated into different forms. Let's look at the first one. So this is a standard form for a quadratic, whereas the second one is a factored form whereby it's already been factorized. And then the third one is the vertex form. So for this chapter, we are going to learn how to change from standard form to become vertex form. Okay? So without using the calculator yet, we need to know how to use completing the square method to get our answer in vertex form. So I'm going to show you using the first equation. So y equals to 2x squared minus 3x minus 5. Okay, so this we have to make sure that our a, which is the coefficient for x squared, is equals to 1. So therefore we need to factorize the 2 out. Okay, so we put a square bracket. So x squared minus 3 over 2x minus 5 over 2. And then we start to complete the square for the square bracket. So first we write down the first two terms, x squared minus 3 over 2x, and then we plus, so the b is negative 3 over 2, so we have to use b over 2 whole thing squared. So b over 2 is 3 over 2 divided by 2 is negative 3 over 4 whole thing squared, and then we have to minus b over 2 whole thing squared. Okay, and then we bring down the negative 5 over 2, and then we close the bracket. Okay, then equals, so 2 bracket. Okay, we're going to take the first one and the third one. We put inside a round bracket. X minus 3 over 4 and then whole thing square. Okay, and then after that, we're going to solve this one using the calculator. Okay, or you can use manually also can. So this is negative. So this is 3 squared. 3 squared is 9 over 16. Okay, then after that, minus 5 over 2. Okay, we can use the calculator to get the answer. So negative 9 over 16. Okay, and then we minus 5 over 2. And then we get negative 49 over 16. So equals to 2, and then x minus 3 over 4 whole thing square minus 49 over 16. Okay, but this is not final yet because we don't want the square bracket. So we're going to multiply the 2 inside. So the 2 we just join together with the round bracket. And then after that, 2 times negative 49 over 16 is negative 49 over 8. Okay, so do you realize that this answer is equals to the answer here? And this is how we use the completing the square method to find the vertex form. So if you use the calculator, we can actually get the answer in vertex form. So let me show you using the calculator. So you go to menu, then you go to the right until you can see the word equation. You see the equation? So it's A. So to get A, we're going to press the button alpha, okay, which is next to the shift button. So alpha, and then A is at the negative button. So you press negative button. So you see here, we have 1 which is for simultaneous equation and 2 which is for polynomial. So for this, we consider it as a polynomial, okay? So we press 2. And then degree, because it's a square, so the highest power is 2, so we press 2. So we have ax squared plus bx plus c. So we're going to use the first equation, which is y equals to 2x squared minus 3x minus 5. We're going to key in the values for a, b, and c. So the a is 2, we press equals, and then we press negative 3, which is the b, equals, and then the c is negative 5. So negative 5 equals. Okay, then we press equals again. So you get 5 over 2, which is actually in the factored form. These are the roots. So 5 over 2 and negative 1. So these are the roots which is for the factored form, which is here. Okay, this is the factored form. Okay, so in order to get the minimum or maximum value, we press equals again. Can you see? So this is a minimum graph. If it's a maximum, it will return here maximum. But this is a minimum graph because the A is positive, which is 2. So the minimum is 3 over 4. Okay, so you see here, when you see at the vertex form, okay, when x minus 3 over 4 is equal to 0, so the x is 3 over 4. Okay, and then to get the y value, okay, which is the minimum value, so it's negative 49 over 8. So here, negative 49 over 8. Okay, so it's proven that your method, okay, to change from standard form to the vertex form is correct. Okay, so by using a calculator, you can actually double check your answer and to make sure that your answer is accurate and you get 100% correct for this question. Let's look at question number 1. Find the roots of the equation. So find the roots. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to find the roots using the Casio calculator. So we go to menu, then we press right until we can see equation. Okay, which is A. So press alpha. And then the negative button, which is the A. So this is, we're going to choose polynomial because it's not simultaneous equation. If it's simultaneous equation, means there will be two equations given. So this is a polynomial, and then we press 2, and then the degree is 2 because the highest power is 2. So now our A, B, and C, we're going to sub in the A, B, C inside. So for the first one, the A is equals to 1, the B is negative 4, and the C is negative 5. Okay, so we're going to key in the A, B, and C values inside. So 1, and then negative 4, and then negative 5. So we will get the roots. Okay, the roots are 5 and negative 1. So I'm going to put 5 and negative 1 over here. Okay, so we already know the roots, but we have to show the working. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the working. Okay, so I'll write back the question, x squared minus 4x minus 5 equals to 0. So we're going to put 2 brackets, equals to 0. Okay, so x squared means it's x and x. And then we know that our roots are 5 and negative 1. So I'm going to put 5. Okay, so if it's 5, then inside the bracket will be negative 5. If it's negative 1, then here will be plus 1. Okay, positive 1. So now, if you want to find the roots, we have to take the first bracket equals to 0. So x minus 5 equals to 0. So x is equals to 5. Okay, and then we take the second bracket equals to 0. So x plus 1 equals to 0. So x is equals to negative 1. Okay, so the roots are 5 and negative 1. Okay, so we solved already for A. So now let's try again for question B. So for B, our A is equals to 1, B is negative 6, and C is negative 16. So we're going to use the calculator again. Okay, so now our A is 1 equals, and then negative 6 equals, okay, and then negative 16. Okay, so we get our roots are 8 and negative 2. Okay, 8 and negative 2. Yeah, so now we're going to solve this. So we have 8 and negative 2. Okay, so I'm going to write back the same question, x squared minus 6x minus 16 equals to 0. So I'm going to factorize it into 2 brackets. So the first term is x squared, so it will be x and x. And then here we have the roots 8 and negative 2. So if it's positive 8, he will be negative 8. If it's negative 2, he will be positive 2. So to find the roots, we take the first bracket equals to 0. So x minus 8 equals to 0. So x is equals to 8. Okay, and then we take the second bracket equals to 0. So x is equals to negative 2. So the roots of the equations are 8 and negative 2. Let's look at question number 2. For this question, I'm going to show you how to change the following into vertex form, which is fx equals to a bracket x minus b holding square plus cube. And this is very, very important. All students must know how to change to vertex form. Okay, let's look at a. Okay, a is fx equals to negative x squared plus 6x plus 16. So I'm going to write back the same question. Fx, okay, equals to negative x squared plus 6x plus 16. So the a here is negative 1. So I'm going to take out the a, okay, which is negative 1. I put negative and then a square bracket. So x squared minus 6x minus 16. Okay, we must always make sure that our coefficient for a is 1 before we start doing completing the square. So equals to negative, and then we write the first two terms, so x squared minus 6x, and then we plus b over 2 holding square. So the b here is negative 6. So negative 6 over 2 holding square, then after that we minus negative 6 holding square, okay, which is b over 2 holding square. Okay, then we bring down the negative 16, and then we close bracket. Okay, so now we're going to take the first one and the third one. So into the round bracket. So x minus, so 6 over 2 is 3. And then close bracket, square. Okay, remember we take the first one, which is x, and then we take the third one, which is negative 3. Okay, we put into the round bracket and then we square. Okay, then after that, we're going to solve this one. You can use the calculator or you can do it manually. So minus, so negative 6 over 2 is negative 3. So it's negative 3 square is 9. So 9 minus 16. Okay, so equals to, so negative x minus 3 holding square. So negative 9 minus 16 is negative 25. Then we close bracket. Okay, so we don't want the square bracket. So how to get rid of the square bracket? Okay, we just multiply the negative outside, which is negative 1, times inside the square bracket. So negative times with the round bracket, we just put them together. And then negative become positive 25. And this is the vertex form. Okay, so now we're going to double check with our Casio calculator. So we go to menu, and then we press right until we can get equation. Can you see equation? Okay, and then after that, we're going to press alpha and then negative button, which is the a. Okay, and this is a polynomial. So we press 2, and then the degree is 2 because highest power is 2, x squared. Okay, so here our a is negative 1. So negative 1, okay, press equals, and then we have 6, and then equals, and then 16, then equals. Okay, so we have this. These are the roots. X, 8 and negative 2 are the roots, but we don't want the roots. Okay, we want to know what is the maximum point. Okay, so the maximum point here is 3, and you see here inside the bracket is x minus 3, right? So x minus 3 equals to 0, so x equals to 3, so it's correct. Okay, and then we look at what is the y value. Okay, so press equals again, we get 25. Yes, we get 25 here. Okay, and which means that our maximum point is 3 and 25. 325. Okay, so if you were to write down, so maximum point is equals to 325. Okay, so now let's solve for b. Okay, let's look at this one. Fx equals to x squared minus 4x minus 5. I'm going to write back the same question. Fx equals to x squared minus 4x minus 5. Okay, so here our a is 1, so we don't have to put any square bracket. Okay, so we can start to do completing the square method. So we write down the first two terms, x squared minus 4x. Then after that we plus b over 2 holding square. So our b is negative 4. So b over 2 holding square, then we minus b over 2 holding square, and then we bring down the negative 5. Okay, so now we're going to take the first term and the third one. Okay, so the first one is x, so you're going to put inside the round bracket. So the third one is negative 2, so minus 2, and then close bracket, then square. and then we're going to calculate what is this, okay? So this will be negative 2 squared, inside the brackets negative 2 squared is 4, so negative 4 minus 5. So we get x minus 2 whole thing squared, then minus 9, okay? So this is already in vertex form, but we want to make sure our answer is 100% correct, right? So we're going to use the Casio calculator to double check our answer. Okay, let's look at menu, press menu. Okay, then we press right until we can see the equation. Okay, which is A, so go to alpha, and then go to negative button, and then we press polynomial, which is 2, and then degree is 2. Okay, and then now we're going to key in our A, B, and C. Okay, so our A is 1, and then equals, and then negative 4, then equals, and then negative 5, and equals. Then press equals. So the roots are 5 and negative 1, but it doesn't affect your vertex form. So now we want to know what is our minimum value. Okay, minimum point is 2, the x is 2. So here we get this correct. Okay, because x minus 2 equals 0, then x equals to 2, right? Okay, so when y, okay, so the y minimum value is negative 9. So negative 9 is correct, which means that our minimum point is, so if they ask for minimum points, so we know that we can get our minimum point from the vertex form, which is 2, negative 9. Okay? Let's look at question number 3. Express the quadratic function fx equals to x squared plus 2x minus 3 in the form of a bracket x minus p whole thing squared plus q. So this is vertex form, where a, p, and q are constants. Hence, state the maximum or minimum value of the function and the corresponding value of x. Okay, let's do this by using completing the square method. So I'm going to write down my answer here. So so fx is equals to x squared plus 2x minus 3. So we write back the first two terms, x squared plus 2x, and then we minus, okay, we plus b over 2 whole thing squared, then we minus b over 2 whole thing squared, and then we bring down the negative 3. So equals, so we take the first term, the first one and the third one, okay, we put inside the round bracket. So x plus 1 whole thing squared, and then this is minus 1 squared, this is 1, then minus 3. So equals to x plus 1 whole thing squared minus 4. Okay, so now we're going to double check our answer using the Casio calculator. So go to menu and then press right until we see equation. So go alpha and then we press the negative button, which is for A. So this is a polynomial, press 2, and then the degree is 2 because the highest power is 2. So now we're going to sub in the A, B, C. So our A is 1, and then our B is 2, and C is negative 3. Okay, so this is our roots 1 and negative 3. So these are our roots. Okay, so later when we're going to sketch the graph, we will get our roots, which are, okay, I'm going to write down here first. Okay, so just now this is negative 3, just now was, go back, 1 and negative 3. Okay, 1 and negative 3, and then the minimum, this is a minimum graph, okay, which means that our minimum point, okay, is equals to negative 1 and negative 4. Okay, then it's correct because x plus 1, when x plus 1 equals to 0, so x is negative 1, and then the y value is negative 4. Okay, so this is correct. Yeah, and then they want minimum, maximum, or minimum value. So our minimum value, we're going to take the y, okay, which is negative 4. So this is the minimum value and corresponding value of x. So x is equals to negative 1. Okay, so now we are going to, okay, so A is settled, we're going to do B. So sketch the graph of the function fx equals to x squared plus 2x minus 3. Okay, so I'm going to sketch it over here. So let's say it is B. Okay, okay, so let's sketch this. Okay, so now we're going to draw this. Okay, so let me draw the y-axis and the x-axis. Okay, so this one will be y, this will be x, and then your origin O. Okay, so just now we got our roots 1, negative 3. Okay, so 1, negative 3, so here is 1, and here is negative 3. Okay, so these are the roots, which is the x-intercept. And then this is a minimum graph. Why? Because the A is positive. So minimum graph means it's a smiley face graph like that. Okay, so because A is positive, okay, which is equals to 1. So we know that it's a smiley face graph. Okay, so we just draw a smiley face graph. Okay, and then just now we got the minimum point, which is -1, -4. Okay, so which means that this is -1, -4. Okay, so now we need to find what is our y-intercept. So to find y-intercept, I'm going to substitute x equals to 0 into the original equation. So when x equals to 0, this is 0. So our y is -3, which means this is -3. Okay, so that is the graph that they require us to draw. Okay, so that's it. As for C, they ask for equation of the axis of symmetry of the graph. So axis of symmetry is where? It's over here. It's like a mirror for the graph. Okay? And the x is equals to -1. Okay, so therefore our answer for C is x equals to -1. Okay? So now the last question is sketch the graph of absolute value function. Okay, fx equals to modulus x squared plus 2x minus 3. Okay, so when it's in modulus, it means that the graph is reflected in the x-axis. Means there's nothing which is below the x-axis. Okay, so let's draw this. So if I were to draw again, okay, for D, so I'm going to draw it over here. Okay, for D. So let's draw this. So draw the y-axis. This is x. This y, this x, okay, this origin. So we use back the same graph, okay, whereby it's 1 and -3. Right, okay, so it will be like this. Okay, so here we have 1, okay, this is -3, right? Okay, -3. So here, what we want is the whole graph is going to be reflected in the x-axis. So the graph is supposed to be, okay, here. This one will remain. This one will remain. Okay. So just now here we got -1, -4, right? Okay. So when it's reflected in the x-axis, it's going to be around here. Okay, which is -1 and 4. Okay, so it's going to be like this. And this one is going to be 3, because just now here was -3, right? Okay, so after that, we're going to use the eraser and erase the bottom part. Okay, so we don't need this. Okay, so this is the graph for absolute value function. Okay, then we can label this as fx equals to modulus x squared plus 2x minus 3. So this is the answer. Before you sit for exam, make sure you know how to express the equation into vertex form and sketch the graph, state the equation of the axis of symmetry, sketch the graph of absolute value, and also know how to use the Casio calculator to double check your answer.
Okay, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching until the end, and I hope that you will benefit from this video, especially on how to use the Casio calculator to get your answers fast and accurate. If you have decided to buy this calculator, I will walk you through on how to buy it from Shopee.
First, you click on the Shopee link in the description below using your computer or mobile app. If you're using a computer, you will see this page. The price shown is based on the latest price, and it depends on when you click on the link. Sometimes the price can be lower and sometimes can be higher. You also get an exclusive free gift from Casio, which may also change from time to time. You also get free shipping, whereby the item will be sent directly to your house. Just make sure that you buy from Casio.os, which is Casio official store, to avoid any counterfeits.
Oh yeah! Don't forget to use the discount vouchers from Shopee, yeah? Till we meet again in the next video. Bye!